Hello everyone, it's Amanda, and today I have a process video using the Scraptastic Thinking Out Loud kit for July. And actually, it may have been for June. I don't know. Anyway, so I have this photo of Landon and the girls, and the blue background was just really awesome with the kit, so I knew that I wanted to use that. So I'm going through the papers, and for this kit, I actually purchased like the main kit and then the add-ons like the extra papers and stuff because this is July's kit because the first month that I got the kit, um you know what, I don't know, don't take my word that it's July's kit because I just got another one yesterday and that might have been July's kit. This must be June's. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I went through the kit really fast, like in 2 or 3 days. So I knew that I needed some extra paper. So I start this layout thinking that I'm going to do kind of this shelf type layout where I have a really bold background with a couple of strips of different pattern paper at the top. And the more that I go through it, I just realized that that's not really the look that I'm going for. I don't know if I just wasn't in the mood for it or if the papers just weren't doing what I wanted them to do. I wasn't entirely sure. So I scrapped that idea and I stick with the star pattern paper. I'm actually trying to find it here. And then the crafty brownish color paper with some kind of geometric, those two. I stick with those. And then I also grab the blue cardstock. And I do use a lot of papers as layers behind, but those are the 3 base pages that I have. So here I am going through and I'm layering up the layers that I want behind my photo. And that's kind of what got me started to think about how I wanted to change the like the way that the layout was laid out, I guess I should say. So I really love this floral, um, blue and white pattern paper. And so I put that as a mat behind my photo. And then I have that text paper. I have another piece of that blue floral. And then I'll bring in part of the cut apart sheet. I think it's part of the cut apart sheet that has like a yellow polka dot, a creamy yellow polka dot. And it might not even be yellow. It looks different in the light. And then this blue pattern paper that matches the cardstock that I'll use a little bit better. And you can see all of them there. I'm slowly pulling them in. Still trying to figure out exactly how I want my background to look. I'm not entirely sure yet. So at this point while I'm thinking, I just grab my Distress ink and I go through and I start inking up all the edges of my papers because I knew that that's definitely something that I wanted to do. And I just kind of start looking back through my papers. I grab my cutting mat and my X-Acto knife, craft knife, because I know that I want to cut out a square from this pattern paper because I want to be able to reuse it again. This is a great layering paper. Works really, really well for layering, so I didn't want to waste any of it. And it's thick enough that I could do this with it, so it worked out well. And apparently I need a new blade in my craft knife. Sometimes I watch videos and it's like, you guys make it look so easy to do stuff, and then I go to do it and I don't even know how to use a craft knife appropriately, but that's okay. Usually I would use my paper trimmer, but I didn't want to drag it out. So I put this paper down and I'm like, gosh, you know what, it's too monocolor, not mono, well, maybe monotone, I don't know, but like the craft of the starry background paper, the creamy color of that, and then the creamy color background of the one behind it, and it was just too much. So that's when I decided to add in this pop of color by bringing in this blue background paper, and I really like the way that it turned out. So even though this kit has a lot of pinks and yellows and stuff, it can still very easily be turned into kind of a masculine kit in a way. And I'm doing the same thing here. I'm just kind of conserving my paper by cutting out the middle. Nothing that you haven't seen before, but it really does help you save paper, especially if it's like before whenever I didn't buy the add-ons and I was really running low on paper really, really fast. Doing that helped me to get a couple more layouts out of the kit than I would have if I had just left it as a whole piece. And because it's so thick, it's still very stable whenever you get it all put together. But anyway, the colors are really good for masculine pages. And this isn't necessarily a masculine page in that it's about just my husband. Like my girls are still definitely on it, but like the title of it is Daddy's Girls, and that's what it's about. So I really like how it's got the blues, but then it also has the pink. Oh, excuse me, I'm yawning. All right, so here I'm bringing in those layers that I want to stick behind my photo and just trying to figure out where I want them, cutting off the edges, and then just kind of haphazardly sticking some adhesive down with my ATG until I can get it all glued down the correct way. And then I'm thinking I need one more color, and I wasn't sure exactly what it was. I wanted to bring in a little bit of that goldishy mustard yellow, whatever you want to call it, of those stars. And so that's whenever I discover that, oh, well, yeah, okay, so I bring in my distress ink first of all and move everything off, and I'm just going to do some ink smooshing. Is that what people are calling it? I don't know. I call it putting ink on paper. I don't know. I really need to get more creative with my terminology. But when people ask me what I'm doing, I would just say I'm using plastic and water and putting ink on paper. I don't know. But I have no idea what color that is because I stuck it up there so fast that I can't see. And I don't know if you guys can hear the thunder. It must be about to storm. I'm going to take a second and check my AccuWeather app and see what it is saying. That was some pretty hardcore thunder right then. Thunderstorms. Well, I can believe it. I don't know about where you guys live. I'm in Ohio, like just a little bit north. There's that paper I was talking about. But I'm going to go on a weather tangent here. Just a few miles north of Cincinnati. And it has done nothing but rain. Not even kidding. Like, we bought this playset and it took us forever to get it put up because every time we would try to work on it, it would rain. And then we finally get it put up and all it does is rain. I mean, we have had so much rain. Some of my flowers are getting overwatered, which, believe me, has never been a problem with me. Ever overwatering my plants. If anything, underwatering. That's been, the cause of death for most of my outdoor plants in the past. This year, it's overwatering because it rains so much. And like my parents, I grew up in Kentucky, and my parents are still there, and like their garden is suffering because it's raining so much. Our garden is doing, some of the vegetables are doing good, and then some of them are just not because the ground is so wet all the time. I'm like, goodness gracious, it is almost the middle of July. Where is our 100-degree weather? Not that I really want it being 9 months pregnant, but good grief, stop raining. I'd like to get outside and do stuff. So that was my weather tangent. Sorry for those of you who could care less about weather, but I'm interested. What is the weather like where you live? Is it normal, like the way it normally is, or is it insanely dry, insanely wet? I think that all the water that California needs to be getting just came to us. I'm sorry about that. I would send it your way if I could, believe me. But yeah, so all right, back to the layout. So I added that yellow journaling card over to the right from the cut apart sheet after I did my smushing ink on paper technique. And then I grabbed these denim stickers and I used the word love, and then I used the yellow arrow. And the way that my title worked out, I'm looking at the layout right now, and I'm still not entirely sure that I love it. I do go up and add that love little cut apart up at the top. But I don't know, my title was just kind of funky. I like the title. It says, the title is Daddy's Girls, but the way that where I put it, it kind of looks like Love Daddy's Girls, which I guess still makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. So the great thing about the Scraptastic kits is that they send you a ton of little embellishments, which is awesome. But sometimes I have a really hard time figuring out what to do with them. So here I was like, well, I like all the arrows pointing in the direction of the photo. So that's what I end up doing. I grab a lot of the vellum arrows, and I think one or two of them are cut out of craft colored cardstock, and I just stick them down. Um, and I like the way that it turns out. It looks cute. I'm not really good with like a lot of the same types of embellishments. So like I'm a couple layouts into the kit, and I'm still trying to figure out what to do with all of the little vellum shapes that I have left. But I'll come up with something creative. Just gotta think about it for a little while. All right, so now here's the point where I'm like, I really need to start working on my title. I add that You and Me Flair badge on there. And I love this picture because Adeline just has this cheesiest grin. Like Eleanor looks like she's modeling for some, like, I don't know, Gerber baby thing or something, with her hand perfectly placed on his chest and smiling. And then Adeline's just got this like cheese look on her face. But that's the stage that she's in right now. You can't get her to smile sweetly, as I call it. Smile sweet for the camera. I even try to bribe her, like, this is going to Mama and Papa, or, let's send a picture to Daddy of you smiling really pretty. And she still just does this cheesy little grin. But one day I'll miss it, so I'll scrap as many photos of it as I can. Take what I can get. Now these alphabet letters, the pink ones, they came in the previous kit, and I didn't use them all, so I just brought them forward. And then the navy blue thickers that I'm working with now, those are the ones from the kit for this month. And I'm not sure what I'm doing right now. Probably finding something to, yeah, okay, I'm trying to figure out where I want to put the word daddies. And it's kind of awkward where it ends up, but that's okay. I mean, it is what it is. Not every layout's going to be absolutely perfect, and I think that's part of the process, is just coming to terms with the fact that you are getting something done and you're accomplishing documenting your family, and you're not going to beat yourself up at the end of the night because your title wasn't in the perfect place. And if you do, you're in it for the wrong reasons. So that's just my honest opinion. But yeah, and that basically wraps up the layout. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I'll have some still photos at the end so that you can see a little bit more up close detail. Pretty simple layout, simple layering, simple title work, simple embellishing, but I really like the way that it turned out. And I think it's a great representation of the love that these girls' daddy has for them. So, all right. Well, I will talk to you soon. Have a great, great weekend. Bye.